Hello, and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gail Thompson, and I'm just so happy that you're stopping by today to relax and craft a little. We're going to go back to the 60s and 70s and get groovy. I'm using Catherine Puller inks, and we'll go into those a little later. It's a really cushy foam pad, and I'm going to do in die cut inlay and some other techniques. We're going to get a little inky today. Let's get started. This is an old Tim Holtz traveling platform that you can use on the rubber side. The platform isn't available. There was some kind of a copyright issue. But I knew I was going to get kind of messy, and this one's just easier to clean up. But you can use a MISTI or any kind of positioning tool, but you'll definitely want a positioning tool because you won't be able to fix any mistakes. I'm just playing around with where I want the card centered, the background centered. Oh, and the supplies are going to be linked below and over at my blog, but most of them are just things that you already have around the house. I'm not using new supplies today. Um, the even the stamp is discontinued. I misted the paper with a little bit of water. I am not using watercolor paper. I'm using heavy cardstock. You don't really need watercolor paper for this. Now, the Catherine Puller pads are kind of spongy and they're real inky. I thought, oh, this is yellow. I'm going to ruin it. So I decided to use a dauber or a blender tool for that. But the blue and the red, I I don't think you're not going to mess them up. It may make the pad look a little weird, but it doesn't really hurt anything. So I didn't bother to do that. And so I used red, blue, and green. And I'm trying to kind of smooth it out so you don't have a harsh line. And I'm adding some spritzes of water with a Spellbinder mister, which really does give a nice fine mist. And then I'm adding pressure. And I know you don't want to do CPR, but my table has a little dip in the middle. And so I have to do a little more pressure than maybe some people would. And I'm seeing that there's a spot there that needs to be pressed again, and then it needs pressed again. But this time I'm inking it. I am so sorry. I have this different camera that I'm going to hopefully do some lives. And this camera is harder to adjust. So I'm leaving it all pretty much at the same level, but I'm you'll see what you need to see because all I was doing was slopping the color anyway. But I see that boo boo, and but also notice that there's a rainbow there because you got your color blending. But I do this several times. I am making 10 of these cards for um, Paper Ganza, which is a get together that Amanda from Pear Blossom Press and Mary from Craft Roulette have coordinated, and it's going to be out in Kansas City. And we're supposed to bring 10 cards to trade. So it's hard to see, but there really is green and orange on that next to the yellow. But it's all kind of a moot point because what we're going to put over it will kind of meld the colors and the lines and it'll be fine. It looks like maybe a hot mess right now, but it'll be fine. I came up with an idea that ooh, I can save cranking through, I can do it in half the time. I have a replaced shoulder and it was getting sore and then I'm like, "Oh, I could do that both of those at the same time." Those are Hero Arts rounded rectangles. It's a very old set. I do not work for any companies. I do this for fun, and so I use a lot of old supplies. Every now and then I get sent something, but from a company just to you do a sample for. But it mostly 99% of the time I buy my own stuff. So I decided to put adhesive on the backer of this die. because you saw there were two pieces. And now I'm just trying to center up the letter part because we're going to cut into our background and make a inlay with the pieces. The other piece there, that background, I also put double-sided adhesive on because it'll make it easier to add the letters later rather than trying to mess with glue. So I'm going to glue the bottom on, but the top part of it has double-sided adhesive. And I'm just taking a jewel pick or pokey tool or whatever you want to call it and pushing out each one of the letters. Now with this, we don't really care about the inner part of the letters because I also die cut the whole thing, the happy birthday background and all, out of black. So you will see that in just a second. And I'm using my little glue gun it's pretty nice. It puts a really thin line. There's a thicker needle tip that goes with it. But if it, I just keep the thinner one on because typically I'm trying to get into a tight place. So, oh, while I'm thinking about it, if you aren't already a subscriber, I would so appreciate you subscribing. And if you like it, hit that like button. Um, I'm nearing 3,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit that goal before my birthday, which is July 20th. And just celebrate. Maybe I'll be able to do a giveaway or something. I don't know. I know I don't get on here very often, but I tell you, when I do, I just enjoy it so much, and I hope that you do as well. So I'm poking out all of my letters there, which I don't need the letters, I just need the insides of, but it is what it is. And I'm lining up the happy birthday. Sorry that my head kind of gets in the way, but I did have my roots done, so at least this time I'm not gray. And I'm just going to start filling it in. And I kind of kept that happy birthday in a row so that it would kind of keep the flowers or the dye, the ink, the line of ink all the same. So the yellows would be in the yellows and blah blah blah. And if you just put them in a pile, all the A's and the P's on this kind of get all a mess. So I kept it kind of written out happy birthday. It doesn't matter about the black ones. Like I said, I have now 10 sets of black happy birthday letters. Have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I'll save them for another project. And I'm just puzzle piecing these in. And this time I am doing it the little inner pieces as I go. After this one, I put all of the color in, then I went back and did all the innards. It just seemed to go more quickly. You learn with every card. So by the 10th card, I kind of figured it out, but that's a little late. So I hope you're just doing great and enjoying summer. It is beastly hot here, which is one of the reasons I get to take the time to do this because I'm not doing yard work in this, and there's other chores, but they can wait. I do work full time. I don't know if you did know this, but I design kitchens during the day, and so I come home. I'm kind of burnt out, so I don't get down here to the craft room as much as I want and however long my dog will let me. I almost said dogs. Unfortunately, I lost one the other day. She it was time, but it is always so hard, isn't it? So we're just going to go through, like I said, I didn't do this on the second card. I just did the letters. I hope you're getting a chance to craft. Take advantage of it being, oh, I don't know, 90 something Today isn't quite as bad, but I'm telling you, it cooks you. I have to walk across the parking lot and get in my hot car, and it sure cooks you. And these little, oh, I wanted to tell you that the black cardstock is Hero Arts Midnight Black. I The reason that I cut the center out of the rectangles is because to me it's gold. It is the best black cardstock. It is thick and it is black, black. I just love it. And I'm always running out of it. So I treat it like gold. I keep even the teeniest of scraps knowing that I might need it for something. Whereas on other colors, I may not worry about it so much. But since nobody's going to see underneath it, there was no sense in wasting all that beautiful black cardstock. So that's why I cut that rectangle out of the center. So I'm doing a top folding A2 card. Best way to do it is you can use um, all the tools. I've got one sitting right next to me, but to me, if you just stand it up and make sure it's all touching at the bottom, it's pretty good. I'm score tool. Yeah, I've got it right here. And I do it on some of the other ones. And I'm using super thick white card base. I believe it's Not Your Mama's cardstock. Like I said, I'll have it listed below and I'll put it over at my blog. And the only thing about that glue gun is that you do want to put the needle tip back in it's the needle back into the tip because it will dry quickly. And sometimes my vision isn't what it used to be. And I have a little trouble doing that, but that's me. So we're going to make it even more groovy. I have these from an ancient Queen and Company Halloween set. These kind of groovy flowers. And they're black, and I typically wouldn't have the opportunity to use them. And then I have some pearls. These are from Studio Katia, but there are some just pretty much like it. They're also, I don't know if they're available anymore. I do have affiliate links, and Studio Katia, I'm only going to do it with the companies where you can get the biggest range of products, and pretty much. So those pearls are just iridescent pearls. And there is our card. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you'll come back and see me and follow me on social media. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will report back from Paper Ganza. You have a great day. Bye bye.